Have you ever felt that pure, sweet relief when social plans get canceled? You know, you say maybe to an invitation, but deep down, you're just hoping it falls through. And then that text message comes in. Hey, can we reschedule? And instead of being bummed out, you feel this wave of pure joy. Yeah, if that sounds like you, then we're definitely in the right place. You know, society has all these labels for people who love staying in. But what if they've got it all wrong? Let's peel back those labels and see what science really has to say. So this is where we can really start to flip the script. Society might call it boring, but science, it calls it a unique psychological trait. They say antisocial, but it's actually just a preference for low stimulation. And lazy? Nope, that could literally be your superpower. See, it's not some kind of character flaw, it's just how your brain is built. Okay, so let's get into this whole idea of the social battery. We've all heard the term, right? But the actual science behind it? Well, that's where things get really interesting. It's the key to understanding why your personal energy source might work completely differently from someone else's. And here's the fundamental difference in a nutshell. Think of extroverts like solar panels. They soak up all that energy from noise, people, and just being out in the world. But for introverts, well, those same social interactions can feel like they're draining the battery dry. So home, it's not just a place to crash, it's the only place to plug in and recharge. This all leads us to a really cool concept called optimal arousal theory. And look, this has nothing to do with being shy. It's all about how your brain is wired. Some people's nervous systems are just built to run perfectly well without a ton of outside noise and action. In fact, they feel their best. They function at their peak when things are a little more mellow. So what does this all mean? It means if you prefer quiet, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You're not lacking confidence. Your nervous system is just wired differently. You don't need the outside world to constantly entertain you because, well, your inner world is already a pretty fascinating place to be. Okay, let's talk about another huge piece of this puzzle. Loving your home isn't just about your social battery. It's also about creating a sanctuary, a place of control in what can feel like a really chaotic world. I mean, think about it. We live in this chronically overstimulated world, right? There are constant pings from our phones, endless noise, and we're just soaking up other people's energy all day long. It's a total assault on the senses. And if you're a sensitive person, it's not just annoying, it's completely exhausting. Out in the world, anything can happen. It's totally unpredictable. But at home, you're the one in charge. You control the lights, the sounds, the smells, the whole vibe. And for people with high sensitivity or anxiety, that control isn't some nice little luxury. It's a straight-up survival mechanism. So let's reframe this one more time because it's so important. Staying home isn't about avoidance. It's intuitive emotional regulation. It's you actively managing your nervous system. It's the one place where you can finally let your guard down and just be. All right, so we've talked about recharging and having a sense of control, but there's another incredible benefit to loving your own space. It can be a powerhouse, a real engine for creativity, and the research on this is just fascinating. People who genuinely enjoy solitude, they're not just sitting around bored. Turns out they often score higher in things like creativity, empathy, and emotional intelligence. Why? Because they actually have the quiet space to connect with their own thoughts. There's actually a psychological term for this, high internal self-presence. It's a fancy way of saying these are people who feel incredibly connected to their own vivid imaginations and inner thoughts. Their inner world is so rich that they just don't need that constant validation from the outside to feel complete. And that right there, that's why for so many creatives, artists, writers, deep thinkers, home becomes this little mini laboratory. It's the one place where they can experiment with ideas without all the outside noise and distraction, letting those sparks of genius really come to life. Okay, but here's where we need to pause and ask a really important question. There's a crucial line we need to draw here, and it requires being honest with ourselves. We have to make sure our quiet time is actually helping us, not holding us back. So here it is. Ask yourself this. Are you staying home because it truly nourishes you? Or is it because the idea of leaving just feels too heavy, too overwhelming? Because there's a world of difference between those two things. Let's break it down. Peace, that's chosen solitude. It's a sanctuary that recharges and nourishes you. Hiding, on the other hand, is driven by fear. That's when your home stops being a sanctuary and starts feeling like a cage. Resting is healthy. Hiding is something else entirely. Loneliness isn't something you choose. Ultimately, it's all about balance, right? If your comfort zone starts to feel less like a comfort and more like a reason you feel stuck, that's a sign. It might be time to gently, and I mean gently, push those boundaries a little bit and reconnect with the outside world. It doesn't have to be a huge party. Even just a short walk can make a difference. So let's wrap this up with a really powerful thought. If you are genuinely happy in your own space, if you can turn down an invitation without a second of guilt, listen to me. You are not broken. You are simply wired for depth over noise. And chances are you've already figured out this profound truth for yourself. Real, authentic peace feels so much better than constantly having to perform for others. Choosing a quiet life isn't a sign of failure. It's a conscious and often very fulfilling choice. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Which one are you? Are you the introvert just recharging your batteries? The creative soul building entire worlds inside your own lab? Or maybe you're just someone who needs a much-deserved break from this crazy, loud world. Whatever your reason, know this. Your quiet isn't weakness. It's powerful. If this video made you see yourself a little more clearly, consider liking the video and subscribe for more simple psychology in upcoming videos. And remember, understanding yourself is the first step to changing your life. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.